Good, y'all listen. Look, I'm mad I even gotta say this.
Why are we acting like this is not egregious? Get your fucking clothes like
There's nothing wrong with hate. You've got to hate some things with a passion, and destruction they must dislike and hate with a passion.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl ZZ back with another video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn on my notifications bell, get this joint a thumbs up, share this mug, all that. Also, don't forget to follow me on the gram and follow me on X. I do appreciate you in advance. Now, today we have a few videos to react to. You know, we ain't gonna say too much, baby. Let's just get into them. We ain't even got no time to waste. Let's just do it. Come on, let's do it.
Short and very to the point. To the white people watching this, and especially to the white people that know me in the real world, my friends, okay? Today, Trump did away with the Equal Employment Opportunity Act. You know the history of that, and you know why it had to be implemented in the first place. So when you went in that booth, if you cast your vote for Donald Trump, we're done. If you didn't hear me the other times I've said it, I just want to reiterate it now. You cannot vote for somebody that takes away the Equal Employment Opportunity Act, knowing the history behind it and why it had to be put in place. You can't cast your vote for him and look at me and tell me that you love me. You're done. And I mean that for life. Unfucking believable. They try to paint it as this saving grace for civil rights when really they just want to fill the federal government with all of their selected employees that are loyalists no matter what. So even after the 4 years that Donald Trump is done, even if another MAGA loyalist or Republican takes the presidency, they still have to go through all of this bullshit because now you got only MAGA federal employees. No diversity, no inclusion. Talking about some fucking based off merit. We know what it has to be based off. Did you bend the knee to Donald Trump? Cool. You now have a job in the federal government. We fired everybody else. You knew what you were voting for. Donald Trump knows he cannot run again. If you think that you think they're doing all this shit just to disappear in 4 years, they're setting it up for the long game. They're setting it up for the fucking long game. So now if I go in and I want to get a loan for a home, if I want to get a business loan, I guarantee you it's going to be so much easier for the white man who they love and select to get a loan than it is for me to start my business.
Okay, he must not be from here. I do hear a little bit of a, I don't know, not an accent. I don't know where I can't pinpoint where his accent is from. Let me say that. That's a kind of like a telltale sign if it's a tether or somebody that's not from here. Yeah, because that sounds like, I don't know, do you not know that this is already happening? Like, I'm like, he can't be from here. Because this is already happening. What are you talking about? A white man that voted for Trump? All you gotta do is be white. We're living under a system white supremacy. Like, I understand what he's saying. However, even with that bill in place, we still deal with the same discrepancies. We still, like, he's talking about, yeah, now it's just going to be a bunch of white people that love Trump and the, like, selective white people. Like, baby, regardless of their Trump supporters or not, the people that's going to be in there before his 4 years, the people that have been in there that will be in there after his 4 years will continue to be white, will continue to be on code with white supremacists. Foundational Black Americans already understand the power dynamics of this country. We already know that even with or without this bill, the bill was just to allow some of us in. We've never gotten anything from our government that has benefited us as a group completely as a whole, or for the majority of us. So even with this bill, the majority of us don't benefit off things like that. It's only for a few of us, the little Ketanji Jacksons that make it to the top, little Kamalas that sleep their way to the top. It's like there's certain roles you have to play, you know, even to get those opportunities, even with these bills in place, because regardless of the bills, people have, it don't got to be because you're racist. It's because we just didn't like your personality. Oh no, we saw a different candidate. Oh no, you know, we just thought this person had the same amount of experience, but different experience in a different location, more for we're more familiar. There's always something. They're going to move the goalposts each time. So foundational Black Americans already know this. So this type, I mean, removing the bill, like, yeah, I don't want to do it, but this is not something that scares me. This is not something, again, that I'm sitting up here like, oh, well, white people, you can kiss my ass if you voted for him. Number one, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn about white people loving on me. He talking about, yeah, well, you can't love me if you voted for a man. Like, I don't give a damn if they do. That's the problem within the brother thinking right there. You worried about what white people think. Egregious, outrageous. That's what I'm like. He might not be from here. I don't know, because this just again, and this is why I think you see most of the black people who aren't afraid of having Trump for the next 4 years are foundational Black Americans, because we have went through worse travesties. We've went through worse trauma. We've been through more trials and tribulations. So 4 years of a white supremacist, a known white supremacist as president, well, we know we've had 46 other white supremacists and one wannabe white supremacist presidents as well. This is not really that, you know, it's like it's a little bit of a different experience. This is, you know, it's like, I get where the brother's coming from, but also I'm looking at it from the flip side as well. This could be a good thing for Black Americans. Integration has never been the answer. So maybe this will push us further away from integration and further into separation, building our own. The only thing we should be fighting for, demanding for from the white man is reparations. That's about it. Jobs, healthcare, all this other bullshit. No, all of that we should be providing for ourselves, period. The only thing they owe us is reparations. I'm gonna just be real. So I ain't really pressed over no white man taking me no job. I'm just, hey, okay, whatever. Let's move on.
But you know, you grow up around blacks and shit. But right here, 626, you say the N-word and you didn't grow up around blacks. So you say the N-word, you're a fucking weirdo, homie. Straight up. That shit don't fly, homie. Yeah, you fools are fucking way too influenced and shit on social media. You fools ain't like
none of our homies say that in their songs. No one.
This is the SGV, homie.
We don't get down like that.
Besides Pomona, you know, they got blacks, you know, grow up, like, you know, that's them, that's cool, you know, whatever, like, you guys grew up around that, but we didn't, folks. So if you're in the SGV or 626, you're in the 626, fool, saying the N-word, that's out, fool. You're a weirdo, straight up.
We're the only ones that don't say the N-word, you know?
That's right. He said they're the only ones.
How do you guys feel about the N-word?
He said they're the only ones.
I feel about Mexicans saying the N-word.
That's out. That shit's out. Honestly, hey, no disrespect to the homies up in South Central.
That's all right. I rock with that. Now, this I can get with. I can rock with that. Okay, now I don't know if y'all seen that video of me from a couple years ago when I reacted to Charleston Whyte. He had some Asians, you know, set tripping on this nigga. These niggas out here gang banging on Charleston Whyte, calling him nigga and everything. Okay, and I said then, like, bro, this is weird. That's the thing I don't like about LA culture, that shit over there in the West Coast or even New York, places where there's a lot of immigrants, non-black immigrants specifically. I ain't fucking with them calling us nigga. I don't give a damn if you Puerto Rican, Dominican, Venezuela, whatever. I don't give a damn. Okay, if you ain't black, you should not be saying it. Ethnicity is not a race. If you don't identify as black, if you weren't raised by a black ass mom, black ass daddy, and you was raised to know that you were black, you're Hispanic, you're Mexican, but you're black. If you was not raised like that, there's no excuse. You shouldn't be saying it. I've never felt comfortable seeing these gang members at the Hispanic. Well, I ain't know nothing about the Asians. That was new to me when I reacted to Charleston Whyte. But these Latinos that's not really new. I've never felt that was okay. Like, why y'all letting these niggas say nigga? Why y'all letting them say nigga? That is crazy. Like, I mean, and y'all not walking around saying the S word. This is insane. Like, and then they not only that, they taking parts of my culture. Like, I mean, I can't get with that. I don't like that. And I do know Latinos have their own subculture within LA, within the West Coast, you know, within LA culture. But still, I can't get with that. Like, it kind of just gives me tether. Like, you're not us. Y'all are not us. So, like, and y'all know that y'all not us, because when the anti-black, when something happens that triggers your anti-blackness and you're ready to use that ER, you know exactly who the niggas are. And you know it ain't you. So yeah, shout out to them. I really like the fact that, you know, not only are they saying, like, holding themselves to that standard, we're not going to use that word, but also we're not rocking with anybody else who uses that word. If you use that and you one of us, we can't get with you because that's weird. That's anti-black. We're not rocking with that. So I like, you know what? That's what's up. They get some oral points for that. That's what's up. That's all right. Like, for real.
I heard Vibes Cartel say this, and he said, basically, like, just to paraphrase, that Black Americans, they're the privileged Black people.
The way he phrased it was Black Americans are the most privileged Black people on the planet. It's funny because when you tell Black Americans this, they're going to look at you like, what are you talking about? But I think overall, when you look at where everybody else is in the world, we're looking at the people in the States saying, yo, y'all have so much opportunity. It's just whether you're going to embrace it or not. You know what I mean?
What about the flip side of that argument, though? Just to be the contrarian, America can come back to him and say, what about all that trauma and all that baggage that comes with our ancestors' journey to America?
I think Americans.
We don't even got to go back. You don't even got to go back to slavery. You can talk about right now. What about the system of white supremacy that affects those opportunities right now? That keeps us from getting those opportunities right now? What about the the school to prison pipeline? What about so many discrepancies within healthcare? What about what about the economic castration of Black people and the lack of repairing, aka reparations for that? What are we talking about? Like, we don't even got to go back to slavery. And before I even let the video go any further, this is a misunderstanding that a lot of non-FBAs have. That's why they confuse our way of thinking with, oh, we have victim mindsets. You guys just complain. You don't even, if I had the opportunities you grew up with, my family will be in a different. Of course you feel that way because you haven't experienced what we've experienced here. You don't understand this beast the way we do. So of course you think you are under the illusion of inclusion that they put. Yeah, you're under that illusion. You think that we are really included into the American society. There are two separate Americas. You think that we are really included into the dominating one, which is white America. No, we're not. Very few of us make it into those high places. Very few of us are allowed into those spaces, into these high spaces, because they own and control. They are at the top of everything. So yeah, it may look like that we are the most privileged because we have built and fought and literally freed ourselves. So of course it looks like we have the most privilege because we've got us to this point. But that does not mean that we are not still very much up against a system that is trying to oppress us every single minute of the day. I wouldn't even say that we are the most privileged, to be honest. I would say Black people in Africa. And I would say Black people any Black person who's in a space where Black people are the majority should be the most privileged because y'all are the majority. So you should be privileged. They are the majority here. So of course there's white privilege. Of course. How the fuck can you not get privileged when your people not only are the majority of the numbers here, but also dominate? But in your own country where there's only Black people, you would think that the most privilege will be where most of us is at. That would make the most sense. Will you be able to get the most privileges by the people that you are most connected with? That would make the most sense. But again, that's a switch in thinking because as a Black American, I would think that way. You would find more power within your people. But as a non-Black American who's fighting their way over here, they think, oh, y'all should have the most power because y'all are with white people.
Think they know what corruption is, but they've never really truly experienced what corruption is. Go to certain places in JA or certain places in Africa where it's like, yo, the government is like, bro, I had a conversation with somebody who told me he came from Eritrea and how nobody can leave Eritrea.
Yeah, no, you can't. It's hard.
They had to, like, the man said I had to walk for 3 days, no food to get to South Sudan, to get out of Eritrea, just get out of Africa in general.
Could you then make the opposite point that there's a guy living on the beach in Jamaica that has a little fish shack that has a much better quality of life
than somebody in the US?
I think all the societal pressures, diabetes, all this overweight, the welfare system, the projects, and this guy just living easy on the beach, makes his little couple $100 USD and just lives for till he's 120.
But here's also the other flip side of that. Those people that live in Africa or those people that live in JA also exercise something that a lot of people on this side of the world don't, and it's called gratitude.
No. We're not going to do that because we are very much grateful. Black Americans are extremely grateful. Again, this goes back to the difference in mindset. We understand what we have here. We fought for, we bled for. Y'all are running from your countries. We do not. It's not the same. It's not the same. For you to say, oh yeah, we had to walk 3 days without food. Black Americans don't have to do that because we're not running. Black Americans are not running from their countries. Black Americans, you know what the struggle for Black America would have been, a Black American would have been, was to stay in their homeland and fight until they get the freedom they deserved. That's what we did. That's why we can't relate when y'all say when he started with, oh, you say you tell Black Americans they're most privileged, they're gonna look at you like, what? Because that's what it is. It's like, nigga, what? Do you know what we had to go through to get these privileges you think we got? Do you understand that we're still actively going through to keep these privileges, so-called privileges you think we had? What are you talking about? And we didn't have a place to run. We didn't grow up thinking, oh yeah, when we get to a certain place, we're just going to go other than Africa, and niggas from Africa is running here. So again, there's just a difference in mindset. Black Americans are extremely grateful for what we have. We are just not as hungry. We're not as thirsty. We're not as desperate as certain groups, as other groups. We don't come from such deprived areas, all right? You talking about some of these places where they don't have food, they don't have shelter, they don't have basic necessities. Most Black Americans still grew up with basic necessities. And that is not because of the American government. That's another thing that these non-FBAs think. Another thing that tethers think, because we're because of our proximity to whiteness, that is why our success is where it is, because we've been so close to whiteness. That's why we haven't felt some of the struggles some of our sisters and brothers throughout the diaspora felt, because of our proximity to whiteness, which is completely false. It's only, and when I say only, it's only because of our own plight. It's only because of our own fight against injustice. That is the only reason we don't come from those type of places. And it could be the same reality for some of these other places if their people chose to stay, if their people did not sell them out. You talking about corrupt governments over there? Those are corrupt governments that people that look like them. You looking like the government that's going against us don't look like us. Most of the people in Congress don't look like Black people. They're not Black people. This is a government that is clearly meant to go against us. Y'all government is a little bit different, because everybody that's in y'all government look like y'all. It look like they supposed to be for y'all, but they're not, because the way that y'all homelands is set up clearly says otherwise. So again, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. But no, babe, this ain't it. We are not the most privileged. We shouldn't. If we are, we shouldn't be, because we are not the majority. That is actually ass backwards for us to be the most privileged and we the least amount of people here. That's crazy. But let me know what y'all think in the comments below, okay? What did you think about the videos? What did you think about the brother who's saying Foundation of Black Americans are the most privileged Black people? What did you think about the brother who said that white people need to unfollow him? They don't love him if they voted for Trump, okay? Let me know what your thoughts on the comments below, baby. Other than that, that's all I got. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace. Be one.
We do not play, but I agree. You fuck with the team, might find your West in the creek. We crossing our T's, we don't never miss a beat.